Married for 7 years, the phrase my wife loved saying to me the most was, "Get out of my house." Just because she was certain I had no one else to rely on in this city, no matter how much she messed around, I wouldn't dare bring up divorce. But when she got caught acting suspiciously with her male assistant for the 8th time, she acted just like always, coldly pointing at the door and saying, "Things are exactly as you see them. If you can't stand it, you can pack up and leave my house." As soon as she finished speaking, a flurry of floating comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. "Bro, don't listen to her. The female lead is just angry. She only said that because you didn't trust her. Just tell her you're jealous, and she'll immediately drop to her knees and explain everything from start to finish." For the first time, I completely ignored these words. I simply looked at Zhao Xiaojin and said, "Fine." I turned around, went back to the bedroom, and started packing my things. The text floating before my eyes began to tremble violently. "Bro, don't be so impulsive. The female lead is just being stubborn. She actually cares about you a lot, male lead. If you just turn around and look at her right now, her tears will fall instantly." My hands paused while packing. Being with Zhao Xiaojin was my own initiative. Back then, Zhao Xiaojin was our university's famous real-life Cinderella. Beautiful, from a tragic family background, ranking first in our major for 3 consecutive years, and a national award winner. The number of guys who liked her was countless, but they all gave up, discouraged by her eternal icy expression. I was the only one who persistently chased her for 3 years, and finally managed to pluck this flower from the high peaks. After we made our relationship official, even though she remained just as cold, I didn't care. Because I felt that as long as I loved her enough, one day this iceberg would melt for me. Later, when I found out her parents had a terrible marriage, and both had affairs right when she was old enough to understand, I told her with red eyes, "No matter what happens, I will always be patient with you, and I will never push you away." That night, Zhao Xiaojin and I held on to each other until dawn. As for these floating words that no one else could see, they first appeared after I proposed to Zhao Xiaojin. They would tell me why Zhao Xiaojin was suddenly throwing a temper. They taught me what to do when she was red-eyed with anger, telling me to leave. They said a 1,000-year ice goddess like Zhao Xiaojin needed someone as warm and radiant as the sun to thaw her out, someone like me. At first, I believed this was a reward granted to me by heaven, until later, when Zhao Xiaojin came home one day, smelling like another man, and they said, "She just wants to make you jealous." Bro, it's just a little feminine trick. The first time Zhao Xiaojin ignored my texts and hung up when I called, they said, "Keep calling." Bro, seeing your name flashing nonstop on her screen is making her absolutely thrilled. There was also a time at 2 a.m. when Zhao Xiaojin's phone was turned off. I ran out in the pouring rain, searching every single place she could possibly be. When I finally got home, I saw her being helped out of a car by her assistant, and they said, "How is it the female lead's fault? She just wanted to risk everything to secure this contract so she could travel the world with you." And finally, there's today. I really couldn't hold back anymore and asked Zhao Xiaojin, "Photos of you kissing Xiaqiang were sent to my phone. How do you explain this?" And then it became my turn to pack my bags right here. But honestly, this wasn't the first time I heard Zhao Xiaojin say, "Get out of my house," or something like that. After getting married, the phrase Zhao Xiaojin loved saying to me the most was, "Get out of my house." She knew I had no one else to rely on in this unfamiliar city. Even taking the high-speed train home would take 16 hours. She knew perfectly well that my parents were in poor health, and she understood I was the type to only share good news and hide the bad. So whenever we argued in the beginning, she would drop this line. And the moment she said it, no matter how big the issue was, it automatically became my fault. I still remember the first time I heard her say it, I was completely stunned. I sat in the room, silently heartbroken. 3 hours later, she finally came in, knelt in front of me with reddening eyes, and begged me with a trembling voice, "Fang Yan, I don't know why. When I get angry, I just think of how my mother treated my father. To me, this place is only a home because you're in it. I'm sorry, please don't go, don't leave me, please." Seeing her looking so fragile, as if she would shatter at the slightest touch, I forgave her without a second thought and made up. Then we fell into a deadly loop. She would tell me to leave, I would hide in the room, she would come and apologize. I closed my eyes. The door behind me suddenly swung open. Zhao Xiaojin grasped the doorknob and called out, "Fang Yan!" Her words cut off abruptly when she saw the suitcase on the floor. She snapped her head up to look at me and scoffed coldly. "Not bad, you actually have some backbone this time. Hurry up and finish packing, then get out. Don't ruin my sleep." My body stiffened, but I didn't turn around. My hands just moved a lot faster. The floating words appeared before my eyes again. "Bro, just turn around and look at her. Her tears are about to fall. As soon as the male lead turns around, the female lead will definitely hug him and kiss him. The next scene won't be suitable for children. I guarantee her inner voice right now is screaming, 'Please don't go.'" I stared at those words, my breathing growing tight. From dating to marriage, she had pushed me away time and time again, and then, like a fool, I would stick back to her like chewing gum. I had lived this kind of life for 7 years. During an argument we once had, she mocked me. "Fang Yan, do you even know how to spell the word dignity?" She didn't realize that loving someone meant throwing away your dignity. But now, I simply couldn't love her anymore. I closed the suitcase, zipped it up, pulled up the handle, walked right past Zhao Xiaojin, opened the door, and strode out. I went downstairs. Those words flashed before my eyes again. "Oh no. Bro is actually furious this time. If the female lead doesn't coax him now, she'll never be able to win him back. Why is she just standing on the balcony like a weeping statue? Bro is about to leave the apartment complex. Just as I couldn't resist the urge to turn my head and look, my phone rang piercingly. I stared at the name Zhao Xiaojin on the screen, my heart trembling, but my hand honestly pressed answer. On the other end, Zhao Xiaojin's voice was freezing cold. Do you still want those ornaments on the nightstand? If not, I'm throwing them away. Those words struck my heart, hurting so much that I suddenly struggled to breathe. Zhao Xiaojin. The ornaments she mentioned were actually made together on our first date, a pair of ceramic dolls. The dolls. Our names were engraved on their base, carved by our own hands, and enclosed within a heart. That heart was even something she had stubbornly insisted on adding. For all these years, no matter how badly we fought, she had never touched those two dolls, but now she was saying so callously, if you don't want them, I'm throwing them away. Those floating words flashed again. Bro, what the female lead actually wants to say is, if you don't even want these things anymore, does that mean you really want to abandon me? An awkward person needs a lover who can be chased away. The female lead just genuinely wants to confirm you won't leave her. Staring at those words, I forced a trembling voice out of my throat. Throw them away. Zhao Xiaojin hung up without saying another word. I rolled my suitcase out of the complex and spent a hefty sum on a real estate agent, managing to rent a place within 3 hours. By the time I had settled everything, it was already dawn. I lay on the bed in a bit of a daze, experiencing my first night without Zhao Xiaojin in 7 years. The next day, when I walked into the company, my entire mind was wandering. I went to my seat, only to find a Starbucks Americano on my desk. I turned around, intending to ask a colleague where this coffee came from, when I saw Zhao Xiaojin and her assistant, Xia Qiang, walking into the office together. Xia Qiang was smiling brightly. It's my birthday today, so my director paid out of her own pocket to treat everyone to coffee. There will be sweets in the afternoon, too. It was his birthday, and Zhao Xiaojin footed the bill. At that moment, everyone's eyes simultaneously turned to me. My hands resting by my sides, suddenly clenched, my nails digging into my palms. Immediately after, I picked up the coffee and, much to Xia Qiang's surprise, raised the cup towards him. Happy birthday, Assistant Xia. Xia Qiang was left speechless, but Zhao Xiaojin looked at me and suddenly spoke up. Team Leader Fang, you were late today. Pay attention to your work attitude. Don't slack off just because you're doing odd jobs. This time, the gazes fixed on me instantly changed. They were filled with a mix of pity and mockery. Washed over by these looks, I couldn't help but feel incredibly awkward. But more than that, it was a chilling heartbreak. I forced myself to look straight at Zhao Xiaojin. I already asked my manager for leave last night. There's no need for Director Zhao to worry. Zhao Xiaojin's red lips pressed tightly together. She shot me a deep, meaningful look before turning on her heel and leaving. As soon as she left, a colleague who had never liked me chimed in. Fang Yan, turns out all that happiness you post on WeChat moments is totally fake. Your wife doesn't respect you at all. But then again, makes sense. She makes millions a year now. You, an errand boy, are definitely punching above your weight. He smugly took his coffee and walked out. As he passed by me, he blatantly let out a mocking scoff. I lowered my eyes to the Americano on the desk and suddenly remembered something. When we first joined the company, both Zhao Xiaojin and I worked in technical roles. But the company had a strict policy forbidding romance between employees in the same department. To avoid any suspicion, and figuring that someone needed to take care of the family, I voluntarily transferred to the admin department. After the successful transfer, I got off work on time every day and kept the house tidy and well managed. But now, coming from Zhao Xiaojin's mouth, I was nothing more than an errand boy doing odd jobs. I remained silent. The floating words flashed before my eyes again. Bro, don't listen to their bad-mouthing. The female lead just wanted a legitimate excuse to come to the admin department to see you. That's why she treated the whole company to coffee. Honestly, when she heard it was her assistant's birthday, her eyes lit up right away. Bro, you gotta believe me. I believed that what these words said was true. But Zhao Xiaojin could have easily come to the admin department openly, yet she went out of her way to use the most humiliating method just to see me. The suffocating feeling in my chest just wouldn't fade away. Throughout the entire morning, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't focus at all. Until noon, when Sister Qing, my manager, called me into her office. As soon as I walked in, she pushed a folder across the desk toward me. The branch in Germany had its core technical staff lead a mass resignation, organize the performance scores for this year, and select someone to go over there and take charge. My heart skipped a beat. A sudden thought flashed through my mind, and the words slipped right out of my mouth. Manager, I used to be a technical employee. I'd like to volunteer to transfer overseas. As soon as I said that, both Sister Qing and I froze for a moment. Before this, I had never thought I would take the initiative to leave Zhao Xiaojin. But once the thought took root, I couldn't suppress it anymore. Sister Qing asked hesitantly, Fang Yan, this transfer requires signing a new contract with the company. You won't be able to return to the country for at least 5 years. Do you want to discuss it with Director Zhao first? I shook my head. My resolve to leave only grew stronger. There's no need, Sister Qing. I can make this decision myself. I once gave up my career for my family. Now that I have a chance to start over, I don't want to miss it. As soon as I finished speaking, the way Sister Qing looked at me changed. She stared at me for a long time before finally nodding. They'll recommend you to upper management. Don't let me down. I nodded firmly. A wave of excitement suddenly surged in my chest. The moment I stepped out of her office, the floating words flashed before my eyes again. No way. Why does bro want to go abroad? What about the female lead? Female lead? Hurry up and coax my bro, or else you're really going to lose your husband. Even if you hug his pillow and stay up all night, it'll be useless. This time, I paid no attention to what they were saying and hurriedly began reviewing the technical documents. Fortunately, even though I had changed positions for the past 2 years, I had kept my good habit from my university days of regularly reading cutting-edge literature in the field. I spent the whole day absorbing knowledge, until my best friend Hao Yu sent me a text. Fang Yan, it's my birthday today. Can you make it? I instantly remembered and hurriedly texted back. After work, I walked out of the company building and immediately spotted Zhao Xiaojin's silver-gray Bentley parked across the street. I couldn't help but stop in my tracks. The floating words before my eyes started flashing again. Bro, the female lead is here to pick you up. You just need to stare at her for 2 seconds, and she will obediently come over. Bro, you're not mad anymore, right? It's not worth getting angry at a stubborn, block-headed girl. Right after I stopped, someone suddenly bumped into me from behind, making me stumble. Turning around, I was met with Xia Qiang's smiling face. Oh, sorry about that, Team Leader Fang. I was rushing to celebrate my birthday with our director. Didn't see you standing here? I froze instantly. Xia Qiang continued. Oh, right. The director said she wants to take me to Juliet Restaurant. I saw in your moments that you've dined there before. Any dish recommendations? Hearing that, my mind went completely blank, because Juliet Restaurant was the very place where I successfully confessed my love to Zhao Xiaojin. I had once told her very seriously, this is a special memory that belongs only to us. Even if we break up in the future, you are never allowed to bring anyone else here. And back then, she had replied just as seriously, there won't be anyone else, only you. It felt like a hole had just been pierced through my heart. Pain and coldness radiated from it. Before I could even recover from Xia Qiang's words, Zhao Xiaojin rushed over, but she didn't so much as glance at me. In her dark eyes, there was only the reflection of Xia Qiang as she asked anxiously, "What's wrong? Did you get hurt anywhere?" The ridiculous part was, I had clearly made up my mind to go abroad and leave Zhao Xiaojin, yet this scene still pathetically made my nose sting with unshed tears. Unable to bear looking at the ambiguous atmosphere between them any longer, I took a half step back, turned around, and walked away. And the words before my eyes vibrated frantically. Bro, don't get mad at the female lead's reverse psychology trick. Seeing you get bumped into, she dashed right over, completely ignoring the red light. The female lead clearly wants to comfort you, so why won't she just say it? Can't she see that bro is angry? How could she show concern for someone else first? My footsteps grew faster and faster, and the floating words became increasingly blurry. It wasn't until I turned the corner, completely out of sight of those two, that I leaned against the wall and stopped, rubbing my eyes hard to wipe away the faint tears and ruthlessly cursing myself. Fang Yan, you're so utterly useless. Once my emotions finally settled, I hailed a cab to the address Hao Yu had sent me. When I pushed open the door to the private room, my 3 friends were sitting there, chatting happily. Xiangnan sounded full of worry. Do you guys think Fang Yan will actually show up? He's usually at home cooking for Zhao Xiaojin right about now. Hao Yu scoffed lightly. The last time we talked was 2 months ago. He called me to ask about a certain women's perfume. Definitely wanted to buy it for Zhao Xiaojin. Hao Yu rested his chin on his hand and sighed. I really hope Fang Yan can make it. He didn't come to my birthday last time. I even ordered the mango cake he likes this year. Hearing this, my nose suddenly stung again. These were my 3 best friends. We used to talk about everything under the sun, keeping absolutely no secrets from each other. Whenever any of us was in trouble, the other 3 would immediately show up to have his back. But I didn't know since when, my social circle and my entire life had started revolving solely around Zhao Xiaojin. It felt like overnight, the only focus in my life became those 3 words, Zhao Xiaojin. Because of Zhao Xiaojin, I had turned down their brotherhood gatherings, turned down late-night heart-to-heart talks to comfort a heartbroken friend, turned down our promised annual trips. I took a deep breath, suppressing the sorrow in my eyes. The moment I opened the door, I squeezed out a smile, handing over the gift I had prepared well in advance. Sorry, I'm late. Hao Yu, happy birthday. When the 3 of them saw me, they were instantly ecstatic and thrilled. Hao Yu waved at me. Hurry, come here, we were just waiting for you. Must be exhausted from working all day, right? We ordered a bunch of your favorite dishes. I sat down. Amidst the laughter and banter, I felt like I had returned to the carefree and unrestrained days of the past. When it was time to cut the cake, Hao Yu glanced at me and suddenly pulled me into the center. He looked at me seriously. Fang Yan, I'm giving my birthday wish to you. I hope you'll always be happy from now on. I blanked out for a moment, but meeting his worried and encouraging gaze, my eyes suddenly grew hot. Fang Yan, you see, even without love, you still have the best friendship. I fought back the hot moisture welling up in my eyes. Closing my eyes and clasping my hands together, I made a wish. Fang Yan, may your years ahead be glorious, and may you change 1,000,000 times over, purely for yourself. Tonight was the happiest time I had experienced in years. I didn't have to worry about missing Zhao Xiaojin's texts. I didn't have to think about Zhao Xiaojin's germophobia, throwing cake frosting at my friends like a kid. I could drink recklessly, grab the mic, and belt out off-pitch songs at the top of my lungs, completely releasing my emotions. I just drank until I passed out on the sofa. In my haze, I heard Hao Yu say, "I'll take him home. You guys head out first." I suddenly remembered I still hadn't told them that I had fought with Zhao Xiaojin and moved out. But when I finally regained consciousness, all I heard was Hao Yu cursing loudly. He was even bringing up Zhao Xiaojin's name. I struggled to open my eyes, only to see Zhao Xiaojin standing in the bedroom doorway in a nightgown, and right beside her was Xia Qiang, his clothes also disheveled. Hot-tempered Hao Yu was still yelling at her. "I'm only holding back because you're a woman. That's why I haven't laid a hand on you. Do you even remember what you promised at the wedding? To do something so utterly shameless now? It's completely disgusting." Zhao Xiaojin's face was as cold as ice, looking at Hao Yu like he was a thug. As for me, staring at the scene before me, my mind completely blanked out. The words floating before my eyes went crazy again. What on earth is going on here? Calling the assistant over to deliver documents, only to get caught red-handed. Even jumping into the Yellow River wouldn't wash her clean. It's all because this assistant kept saying he had important documents. What kind of important documents need to be delivered in the middle of the night? Poor bro. Just woke up from his hangover and has to see this. Female lead, explain yourself quickly. What's the point of staring at my clenched fists? I followed the text and turned my gaze toward Zhao Xiaojin. I realized she was indeed looking at me. Our eyes met. She spoke first. "Fang Yan, take this crazy friend of yours and leave right now. This is my house. If he wants to throw a fit, don't do it in my house." A sudden, sharp pain pierced through me. I squeezed the words out of my throat, the question I wanted to ask her the most at this moment. "Zhao Xiaojin, do you have nothing to explain to me?" But Zhao Xiaojin just scoffed. Her tone was filled with indifference and mockery. "Why should I report to you? What have I even done?" Mixed with the pain that fiercely exploded in my chest, it felt like someone was crushing my heart. It hurt so much that my vision went dark, and I couldn't even breathe. This feeling mixed with the alcohol, making me suddenly want to throw up. I covered my mouth, stumbling as I found the trash can. But the moment I looked down, I clearly saw the broken porcelain pieces inside. They were the 2 dolls from our nightstand. I stared at them, tightly gripping the edge of the trash can, and vomited until the world spun. It felt as if I were puking my own heart out. Fang Yan Hao Yu cried out anxiously. He quickly rushed to my side, patting my back one stroke at a time. But from start to finish, Zhao Xiaojin stood at the bedroom door without moving an inch. "Zhao Xiaojin," I realized Hao Yu was about to lose it again, so I hastily grabbed his arm. But the moment I looked up, I saw his expression suddenly freeze. His voice carried a careful, heartbreaking sorrow. "Fang Yan, please don't cry." Stunned, I raised my hand to wipe my face, only to feel a patch of wetness. It turned out I was crying again. Those words kept flashing before my eyes. When our brother started puking, the female lead was already panicking and about to rush over. She was just beaten to it by his friend. Seeing our brother so broken, the female lead instantly regretted saying such harsh things. "Brother, don't be sad over that broken porcelain in the trash." The female lead secretly went to make new porcelain dolls. She wanted to apologize to you, which is why she threw these away. I couldn't bear to read what else they were saying anymore. I firmly gripped my friend's hand, and using his strength to stand up, I struggled to speak. "Hao Yu, let's go." He gritted his teeth, turning his head to shoot Zhao Xiaojin a vicious glare. Then he grabbed my arm and walked toward the door. Right as we were about to reach the door, I stopped. Turning to look at Zhao Xiaojin, I said seriously, "Zhao Xiaojin, let's find some time to get a divorce." As the elevator descended floor by floor, I leaned weakly against Hao Yu. Suddenly, I recalled so many things. They were all trivial matters from my time with Zhao Xiaojin, like how I often forgot to bring my keys, but Zhao Xiaojin disliked digital locks. There was one time I forgot my keys and waited for her in the hallway. She didn't come home until midnight, and her first words were, "Let's see if you dare be so careless again." Or like when the downstairs neighbor called me, saying our water pipes were leaking. I hastily took time off and rushed home, only to find Zhao Xiaojin was already home. I asked her why she didn't deal with it. She said, "These things have always been your responsibility. What does it have to do with me?" And another time when Zhao Xiaojin went on a business trip, I bought a monster plant and sent her a picture. I sent 3 messages in total, but she didn't reply to any. When I sent the 4th message, I realized she had blocked me. Later, when she came back, she told me it was interfering with my meeting. There's no need to send such trivial things. Small things are just small things. But when an avalanche occurs, not a single snowflake is innocent. The elevator reached the 1st floor. Hao Yu asked me carefully, "Fang Yan, are you okay?" I snapped out of my memories, smiled at him, and shook my head. To no longer be chained by those trivial things. This should probably be considered a good thing, right? Hao Yu took me home and left. I lay on my bed, thinking my heart would be in complete turmoil tonight. But shortly after my head hit the pillow, I fell fast asleep. When I woke up the next morning, the sun was shining brightly. I headed out to work as usual. But when I arrived at the company entrance, I saw Zhao Xiaojin standing at the main gate, and the floating text before my eyes became active again. The female lead has been standing here since before dawn, terrified of missing our brother. She's finally starting to figure things out. Last night, after our brother left, the female lead even got mad at her assistant. She's planning to transfer him to another position. Over there, Zhao Xiaojin saw me and strode over. But she just looked me up and down once, then frowned. "What are you wearing?" Didn't I tell you that you look terrible in these kinds of clothes? Go back and change right now. I glanced at the shirt I was wearing, clenching my fists. I didn't want to tangle with her, but I still couldn't hold back my voice. What I wear is my freedom. We're getting a divorce soon. Do you understand? Hearing my words, Zhao Xiaojin furrowed her brows even tighter. She seemed to be trying to hold back, but couldn't hide the impatience in her eyes. The technical department has been really busy lately. I don't have the time to keep arguing with you. Those words started floating before my eyes again. Didn't the female lead come here to apologize to our brother? What is up with her attitude? Oh man, she was up all night, her head filled with the image of our brother asking for a divorce. She's probably just not thinking straight. They were all saying Zhao Xiaojin had softened her heart. But peering through these translucent texts, I could only see her cold, detached face and hear the ice-cold words spilling from her lips. If you insist on having it your way, then there's nothing else I can do. I looked at Zhao Xiaojin, seeing the utter certainty in her eyes. She was certain I wouldn't leave. She was certain my talk of divorce was just an empty threat. I suddenly lost any desire to keep talking, so I just nodded. I'll draft the divorce agreement as soon as possible. Saying that, I walked straight into the company and into the HR department office. Qing held some documents and walked up to me. Fang Yan, it's an emergency. They urgently need someone over there. The general manager has directly approved your transfer request. I've booked you a flight for 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Can you make it? I was stunned for a moment, then nodded vigorously. Yes. Holding that thin stack of documents, my mood instantly brightened. For the rest of the day, I was incredibly busy. First, I handed over my work. Then, I arranged for Hao Yu and the others to meet at a small diner near the university. Hearing that I was being transferred for work, they were all incredibly surprised, but right after they took turns congratulating me. Hao Yu even slammed the table. Awesome, Feng Yan, not only are you getting promoted, but you're also getting away from that scumbag, hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Congratulations. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. After we finished eating, everyone headed their separate ways home. I slowly strolled along the street. Suddenly, a clap of thunder roared in my ears. Before I could even find shelter, the rain poured down like a waterfall. By the time I got home, I was soaked to the bone. I quickly took a hot shower and took 2 cold pills as a precaution. But by the middle of the night, I had caught a fever anyway. In my dizzy haze, I gritted my teeth, got up, and caught a taxi to the hospital. I had an overseas business trip tomorrow. I really didn't want to change my ticket or delay my itinerary. What if the general manager thought I wasn't proactive about my work? At 2 in the morning, I finally arrived outside the emergency room. Hurriedly pushing the door open, I heard Zhao Xiaojin's familiar voice, asking the doctor, "Is my boyfriend going to be okay?" I instinctively looked over. Inside the emergency room, Zhao Xiaojin was standing in front of the desk, letting Xia Qiang lean half of his body against her. Zhao Xiaojin's voice was full of worry. "He just has a stomachache. Why does it hurt so much? Doctor, please prescribe him some medicine quickly." I looked at the scene before me somewhat hazily. This woman. It's just a stomachache. I've had one too. Except when I was in pain, she said. I hate clingy people like this. Numb, I watched those words float before my eyes. I'm not going to speak up for the female lead this time. Our brother came to the hospital alone with a high fever, while the female lead is tending to her assistant. Did the female lead realize the male lead was here, so she's intentionally acting this worried? She's just throwing a tantrum at the male lead. I didn't push the door all the way open. I just turned around and sat down on the waiting chairs by the door. The emergency area was completely empty. It was freezing. Even the air itself seemed frozen. I didn't know how much time had passed, but the emergency room door opened. 2 silhouettes walked out from inside, then stopped right in front of me. The moment I looked up, I saw Zhao Xiaojin staring straight at me, our eyes locked. She quickly averted her gaze, supporting Xia Qiang as she walked right past me without a second glance. And a nurse had already approached me. She pressed a digital thermometer to my forehead. The nurse took one look at it and gasped in surprise. "Your fever is at 39.5 degrees. Are you all right?" I looked up and smiled at her. "I feel perfectly fine." In this soaring 39-degree fever, I had burned away the very last shred of hope I had for this woman. After that, I got a fever-reducing shot, took my medicine home, swallowed the pills, and obediently went to sleep. Perhaps my luck held out. The next day, my fever had actually broken. Looking at the thermometer, I let out a sigh of relief. That's great. No need to change my flight ticket. Only then did I see the missed calls from Zhao Xiaojin on my phone. Exactly 17 calls. I suddenly remembered that actually, whenever I was truly angry, Zhao Xiaojin would relentlessly call to apologize to me. It's just that after getting married, I chose to endure so many things, so she no longer made that many calls. I chuckled, moved my finger, and blocked her number. The text before my eyes jumped frantically. "No way, brother. Last night the female lead parked downstairs and watched over you the whole time. She didn't leave until the lights in your room went out. Even though she's protecting you in secret, and our brother doesn't know, this is really too cruel." I ignored these comments and went straight to a print shop, printing out a copy of the divorce agreement. Over the years, Zhao Xiaojin and I didn't really have anything to divide. The house is hers and my salary is my own. Very convenient. After that, I packed my luggage, contacted the landlord to check out of my rental. It turns out that when someone truly wants to leave, it can be this simple. With everything sorted, I carried my suitcase downstairs again, planning to find a courier station to mail the divorce agreement. But I saw Zhao Xiaojin waiting downstairs again. She leaned against her silver-gray Bentley, her face looking pale and haggard. Watching me drag my suitcase out, her expression instantly froze. She quickly asked, "Where are you going?" I answered casually, "The company arranged a business trip for me." She seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, then said indifferently, "I just happened to be passing by. Let me take you to the airport." I looked at her for a few seconds, but still nodded. As I got into the car, the words before my eyes danced wildly. Why isn't the female lead asking more questions? Our brother is going on a long-term business trip. It's not something where he'll be back in 2 or 3 days. She clearly came here because she saw our brother didn't go to work today. She just had to say she was passing by. What's the point of being so stubborn? These texts were incredibly agitated. But until the car stopped, Zhao Xiaojin didn't say a second word to me. Arriving at the airport, Zhao Xiaojin even walked me all the way to the security checkpoint. As I pushed my suitcase forward, Zhao Xiaojin suddenly called out to me, "Fang Yan, when you get back, let's go back to your hometown to visit your parents together." I turned my head to look at her. Her expression was calm, as if no conflict had ever happened between us. Right. In the past, every time we argued, we would make up in a week at most. She probably thought this time was no exception. Once I returned from my business trip, all our previous bitter fights would just vanish into thin air. I looked at her in silence. The airport intercom broadcasted the final boarding call. "Passengers heading to Berlin, please note. The flight to Berlin DH9755 will close its boarding gates in half an hour." DH9755 was the exact flight I needed to catch. I snapped back to reality, thought for a moment, and pulled the folder containing the divorce agreement from my bag, handing it to Zhao Xiaojin. Seeing her take it with a confused expression, I smiled in relief. "I've already signed it. Just sign it and email me a copy." After saying that, I strode toward the security checkpoint. "Goodbye, Zhao Xiaojin. This time, what's vanishing into thin air is our marriage." Passing through security, I walked briskly forward, when suddenly, Zhao Xiaojin's panicked voice rang out behind me. "A divorce agreement? Fang Yan, why are you giving this to me?" I turned around to see her blocked by airport security. Her slightly reddened eyes were filled with disbelief. I smirked, boarded the plane, and completely left her cries behind me. After a long flight of nearly 13 hours, I had finally arrived in Berlin. At the accommodations arranged by the company, I rested for the night and swiftly dove straight into work. For 3 consecutive days, I stayed at the company, working day and night. I didn't spend even a single second thinking about Zhao Xiaojin. As I walked out of the company gate, the bright sunlight stung my eyes. It felt like a whole lifetime had passed. Once my eyes adjusted to the light, I saw Zhao Xiaojin standing not far away. Her red eyes locked onto me. "Fang Yan." I looked at Zhao Xiaojin, a bit slow to react. I had thought that the next time we met would be after I returned to the country. Just as I was stunned, Zhao Xiaojin marched right up to me, her voice hoarse from the long journey. "Why didn't you tell me that you were sent to Germany by the company on an assignment and wouldn't be back for 5 years? Are you starting to lie to me now too?" I couldn't help but frown. "Zhao Xiaojin, did you not see the divorce agreement I handed you?" Zhao Xiaojin's eyes grew even redder. She suddenly grabbed my hand, her grip carrying a hint of desperation. "I don't agree. So this marriage cannot be divorced." I had never seen Zhao Xiaojin act so shamelessly. For a moment, I honestly didn't know what to say. The floating text before my eyes started dancing again. Is this the female lead's path to winning her husband back? It definitely has that vibe. The female lead traveled thousands of miles to get here. Definitely not to divorce the male lead, but the female lead's attitude is still so terrible. But our brother isn't falling for it anymore. Seeing the last line, the corner of my lips twitched. That's right. Even if Zhao Xiaojin didn't want to divorce me, her very first sentence upon seeing me was still to blame me for deceiving her. Opposite me, Zhao Xiaojin couldn't wait for my answer. She pulled me, trying to drag me forward. "Go apply to have the company cancel your assignment. The technical department has so many people. Why do you have to be so stubborn?" I paused for a second, then forcefully threw her hand off. "Zhao Xiaojin, I earned this opportunity myself. And now you want me to cancel it with just one word?" Zhao Xiaojin stared at me, her eyes filled with incomprehension. "What exactly are you thinking? Things between us aren't resolved yet. You running away alone to a place this far to hide? Does it mean anything?" Zhao Xiaojin actually thought I was running away from her. A profound sense of helplessness suddenly surged within me. I suppressed the rising anger in my chest and tried to speak to her calmly. "Just sign the divorce agreement, and everything will be resolved." Zhao Xiaojin glared at me. Blood vessels slowly crept into the whites of her eyes. Suddenly she asked me, "Fang Yan, when we got married, I said there would be no divorce, only widowhood. You know how seriously I take marriage. So you came up with this method to torture me, didn't you?" Against a Zhao Xiaojin this stubborn, I was completely out of options. Right at that moment, someone tapped my shoulder. "Brother Fang Yan, can you give me a ride today?" I turned around and saw my colleague Jiang Tao looking at me. I wanted to get away from Zhao Xiaojin quickly, so even though I wasn't that close with her, I still agreed. It wasn't until I got into the car provided by the company that I finally breathed a sigh of relief. I glanced at the rearview mirror. Zhao Xiaojin was still standing there. She was too far away, so I couldn't see her expression clearly. I withdrew my gaze and asked Jiang Tao, "Where do you live? Let's get going first. You can just drop me off at the intersection ahead." I was a bit confused. She winked at me. "That person just now was your ex, right?" I could tell you didn't want anything to do with her anymore, so I conveniently asked you for a ride. Her attitude was sincere, which made me feel a bit awkward, but I still thanked her. Jiang Tao waved it off. I absolutely hate clingy people like that. I didn't want to tell her too much about my history with Zhao Xiaojin. As she requested, I dropped her off at the next intersection. Before closing the door, "I'll bring you coffee tomorrow morning. Thanks for helping me out today." Jiang Tao didn't refuse either, waving at me as she left. I got back to my place, rubbing my slightly throbbing temples. I went to the bathroom and ran the water, getting ready for a soak. When the tub was half full, my phone rang. I glanced at it and answered the call. "Mom, what's wrong?" "Fang Yan, your dad and I came to your city for a trip. Why is there a strange man in Xiaojin's house?" My heart clenched. Watching the water level steadily rise, I closed my eyes. "Mom, there's something I haven't told you guys yet. I'm planning to divorce Zhao Xiaojin. I've already signed the divorce papers. I'm still discussing it with her right now." There was a long silence on the other end of the line before my mom finally spoke. "Where are you? Your dad and I will come find you. There's no need for that." "Mom, I've accepted the company's decision, and I'm currently abroad. Wait until I'm done with work, and I'll explain everything clearly to you and Dad. Ever since I graduated from college, my parents have rarely interfered in my life, nor have they ever forced me to do anything, and it's the same this time." After hanging up, I took off my clothes and stepped into the bathtub. As the water rose above my chest, I absent-mindedly thought to myself, the man my mom saw was definitely Xia Qiang. On one hand, Zhao Xiaojin tells me here that she doesn't want a divorce, but on the other hand, she lets Xia Qiang strut into our house. A hint of mockery flashed in my eyes as I just let myself sink into the water. New floating comments suddenly appeared in my vision again. The male lead must have misunderstood again. The female lead just asked her assistant to grab some daily necessities. Who wouldn't misunderstand in this situation, bro? He asked for a divorce specifically because of that assistant, okay? The male lead's parents are probably disappointed in the female lead this time too. I actually thought they might try to persuade him otherwise. I closed my eyes, not wanting to take in any more of this information. My parents aren't the conservative type. There's no way they wouldn't allow me to get a divorce. If they knew about the grievances I've suffered, they would only tell me to divorce Zhao Xiaojin immediately. I slept incredibly well that night. When I woke up the next day, it had already started drizzling outside. As I grabbed my umbrella and headed out, I saw Zhao Xiaojin's figure standing downstairs. The nights in Berlin are very cold. I had no idea how long she'd been standing there, nor did I know what she was trying to do. But I thought I made myself perfectly clear yesterday, so I didn't want to get tangled up with her anymore. I was just about to walk around her when I heard her call out to me, "Fang Yan, the divorce agreement, I want sign it." She walked right up to me, her tone completely serious. "Either I request a transfer here, or you come back with me. Even if I really did something wrong, you should at least give me a chance to fix it." A lump suddenly formed in my throat. I looked at her and slowly spoke. "Zhao Xiaojin, have I never given you a chance? That time Xia Qiang showed up at our house, I let you explain. Do you even remember what you said? Those pottery pieces, you just threw them away like that. Did you ever once consider my feelings?" Zhao Xiaojin furrowed her brows. "I've told you so many times already, he and I are strictly just boss and subordinate. I admit I did throw those pottery pieces away, but I also made new ones for you, didn't I?" She reached out to grab me as she spoke. "Fang Yan." I quietly took a step back, looking at her coldly. "Don't touch me." Zhao Xiaojin has very strong boundaries, yet she allowed Xia Qiang to freely enter and leave her house. Even up to this very moment, Zhao Xiaojin never once thought about explaining to me what that kissing photo was all about. Zhao Xiaojin probably didn't expect me to be so firm, and her expression instantly turned ugly. I stepped back another half pace. "I have things I want to do now, so please stop bothering my life." Zhao Xiaojin also got angry, glaring at me coldly. "Fang Yan, I already came here to apologize to you. What more do you want? As long as I don't sign those divorce papers, by the time you return home, we'll still be legally husband and wife." I turned my head to look at her, my voice turning ice cold. "Zhao Xiaojin, how is your desperate clinging now any different from your dad refusing to divorce your mom? Any difference at all?" After being married for so many years, I naturally knew exactly where to stab to hurt her the most. This time, Zhao Xiaojin's face was beyond just ugly. I opened my car door and drove straight off. I was in a fantastic mood. When I arrived at the company, I saw Jiang Tao waiting for me at the door. "Fang Yan, sir, that person from yesterday didn't bother you, did she?" I looked at his genuinely worried eyes and felt a bit of warmth in my heart. I handed him the coffee in my hand. "Don't worry, I can handle it." Right after I said that, floating comments appeared in my vision again. "It's over, bro." He's even using the word handle when referring to the female lead now. He seems to have truly given up on the female lead. Poor female lead. She humbled herself yesterday and asked so many people just to find out where the male lead was staying, only to get stabbed in the heart by the male lead first thing in the morning. The female lead already knows she was wrong. The male lead should just give her another chance. I ignored them and walked straight into the office. When I saw the person sitting not far from my desk, I couldn't help but freeze for a moment. She looked up, smiled at me, and waved her hand. Oppa Feng Yan. Surprised? Thrilled? I think horrified is more like it. As the only daughter of the company's chairman, I had no idea why Bai Ningbing was here, so I just asked. Instead of staying back home, what are you doing here? Bai Ningbing was very straightforward. I finished my master's degree and my dad wants me to get some real-world experience. It just so happened that there's an issue here, so if I handle it well, it'll look great on my resume. She smiled brightly, her eyes curving. My dad figured you were here, so he felt totally safe letting me come. Before I could even say a word, I heard Jiang Tao muttering behind me. Turns out the young miss has arrived. I don't know if Bai Ningbing heard him, but her expression didn't change at all. I didn't think too much about it and said bluntly, I remember you studied finance in college. Bai Ningbing didn't have any of those spoiled rich girl habits. She worked diligently throughout the entire morning. Jiang Tao, on the other hand, stole quite a few glances at her. When it was time for lunch, Bai Ningbing proactively stood in front of me. Fang Yan Oppa, can I have lunch with you? I rubbed my forehead. Let's go. Jiang Tao immediately stood up. I'm coming too. The three of us walked out of the office, discussing where we should eat, when we bumped into Zhao Xiaojin carrying a bag. Zhao Xiaojin's face was devoid of expression as she handed the bag to me. The food here doesn't suit your taste, so I found a Chinese restaurant and ordered some food for you. She glanced at the other two and pursed her lips. I didn't know you were going with them, so I didn't order much. I didn't take it. Keep it and eat it yourself. I'm going to eat with them. Zhao Xiaojin frowned. Fang Yan, do you really have to treat me this way? Before I could even speak, Bai Ningbing chimed in. Isn't this Director Zhao? I heard the project you're currently managing is having issues, so at such a crucial time, instead of staying back home, you ran all the way here. Isn't that a bit inappropriate? Zhao Xiaojin recognized her as well, her lips tightening. She coldly replied, there won't be any issues with the project. Rumors aren't necessarily true. She looked at me. If you're going to eat, I want to go too. I suddenly felt a wave of annoyance. Zhao Xiaojin, let me make myself abundantly clear. I don't want to eat with you. Understood? Zhao Xiaojin froze in place, and the floating comments in my vision went absolutely crazy. Male lead, please don't treat the female lead this way. She just has an eccentric personality. She never ever had any intention of betraying you. No matter what my bro does, I support him. After all, our bro truly suffered so many grievances. I looked at that last comment, and my heart suddenly ached a little. All those years with Zhao Xiaojin, I truly was deeply aggrieved, but not anymore. Never again. I didn't care, leaving a stunned Zhao Xiaojin behind as I drove off with Bai Ningbing and the others. When we arrived at the restaurant, I noticed Bai Ningbing and Jiang Tao both staring at me unblinking. I subconsciously asked, what's wrong? Jiang Tao seemed incredibly relieved that I finally spoke. Fang Yan, you were so cool just now. Dealing with a toxic woman requires being calm, precise, and ruthless like that. He was very tactful, not prying into what happened between me and Zhao Xiaojin. He just kept praising me. I smiled. All right, let's order. I didn't think there was anything impressive about what I did. If I were truly impressive, I wouldn't have let myself suffer such grievances for so long. I didn't notice Bai Ningbing remaining silent, quietly watching me from the side. By the time we finished eating and returned to the office, Zhao Xiaojin was no longer there. I had always obeyed her every command, so being this stern and harsh was a first for me. If this is what it takes for her to clearly see that I truly want absolutely nothing more to do with her, I wouldn't mind doing it a few more times. For the next few days, I didn't see Zhao Xiaojin at all. She had probably gone back to the country. I subconsciously let out a sigh of relief. The floating comments occasionally popped up. Bro looks so serious when he works, so charismatic. Is the male lead aiming to be a total career man and completely letting go of the female lead? Regarding these discussions, I just laughed them off. After a month of such peace and quiet, I received a message from Xiaqiang. Team Leader Feng, could you please take Director Zhao off your blacklist? I see her calling you every single night, and it breaks my heart. I looked down at this message and casually added his number to the blacklist as well. No matter what Xiaqiang wants to do or what Zhao Xiaojin is up to, it has nothing to do with me. But little did I expect, my peaceful days would come to an end just like that because of Xiaqiang's message. Seeing Zhao Xiaojin and Xiaqiang standing before me with luggage, I found it hard to force out a smile. Xiaqiang handed me a stack of documents. Team Leader Fang, the company intends to open an additional production line in Germany. We were sent here to survey it. I looked at the documents bearing the company's stamp and asked no further questions. I led them straight to the office. Director Zhao, this office happens to have 2 desks, enough for you and your assistant to use. Zhao Xiaojin clenched her fists. I never said to put him in the same office as me. Xiaqiang's expression instantly turned grim. I smiled. So sorry, there are no other offices available. You shared an office with Assistant Xia back home anyway. Surely it hasn't come to the point where you're demanding special privileges now that you're here. My undisguised sarcasm made Zhao Xiaojin lose a bit of face. I don't know what she thought of, but she suddenly looked at me. So you were actually jealous over this? She genuinely didn't understand. Why didn't you tell me you were jealous? I looked at her deeply furrowed brows and suddenly felt a bit disgusted. Director Zhao, we are no longer husband and wife. Please mind your boundaries when you speak. I don't want to bring up the past anymore. I hope we can strictly be colleagues from now on. Zhao Xiaojin's gaze darkened. Before she could even open her mouth, I turned around without hesitation and walked out of the office. Since we were both busy with work, Zhao Xiaojin and I had no interaction all day. When I got off work, the lights in Zhao Xiaojin's office were already off. I massaged my stiff neck as I was getting ready to head home. As soon as I went downstairs, I heard soft sobbing. I instinctively looked toward the source of the sound. It was Xia Qiang and Zhao Xiaojin. Xia Qiang looked utterly devastated, while Zhao Xiaojin stood there, brows tightly knitted. I was about to leave when I heard Xia Qiang's pathetic voice. Xiaojin, you're already carrying my child. We can't just end it like this. I didn't listen any further and quietly walked away. The floating comments in my vision flashed wildly. What? The female lead is having another man's baby? Then what about our bro? It seems the male lead was right not to forgive her. Otherwise, the female lead would definitely just keep cheating. There's absolutely a misunderstanding here. The female lead would absolutely never betray the male lead. I started the car, my mood completely unaffected by these words. I just thought about Zhao Xiaojin's expression just now. She clearly looked incredibly impatient. Yet she didn't refute Xia Qiang. Based on my understanding of her, 9 out of 10 of Xia Qiang's words were true. I gripped the steering wheel tightly, feeling utterly ridiculous. She acted completely head over heels in love in front of me while carrying someone else's baby. These thoughts flashed through my mind, leaving absolutely no trace behind. I took out my phone and called Heou. Not long after, he picked up the phone. Fang Yan, what's up? I stared straight ahead. I printed the divorce papers earlier, but Zhao Xiaojin refuses to sign them. Before I even finished speaking, Heou flipped out. What's her deal? Does she actually have the nerve to say she doesn't want a divorce? I smiled nonchalantly. That's probably what she meant. I want to know what I need to do to secure the divorce, Heou asked bluntly. Do you have any proof of her infidelity? I thought for a moment. I have a photo of her kissing someone else. Heou fell silent for a moment. And then? Is that it? I was a bit embarrassed. That's it. Does this mean I can't prove her affair? It took Heou a long time to answer me. Send me the photo first. I'll take a look for you. I'm driving right now. You'll send it later. When I got back to my place, I immediately sent over the photo I received earlier. Not long after, Heou video called me. Fang Yan, who sent you this photo? I didn't know what he was up to, so I answered honestly. It was Zhao Xiaojin's. That assistant of hers. Heou frowned deeply. This photo is photoshopped. If you restore it with software, they were just standing close to each other. I froze, and the floating comments instantly became agitated. I told you, there's no way the female lead would betray the male lead. It was all that two-faced assistant's doing. No wonder the female lead was so furious. Turns out she was actually wrongfully accused. Even if the photo is fake, the female lead really is pregnant with the assistant's child now. I hurriedly asked Heou. There's one more thing. When I got off work today, I heard Xia Qiang saying, Zhao Xiaojin is pregnant with his baby. Heou's eyes instantly widened in shock. After a while, he squeezed out a sentence. Zhao Xiaojin, that absolute slut. Fang Yan, just wait for my news. He'll find someone to look into her medical records. Heou is a lawyer with a wide array of social connections, so this wouldn't be a problem for him at all. After ending the video call, I let out a heavy sigh. I couldn't help but ask myself, if I had known the photo was photoshopped back then, would I have still ended up here with Zhao Xiaojin today? The answer was yes. I didn't want to endure her indifference anymore, nor could I stand, living a life devoid of my own identity. Even without Xia Qiang, something else would have eventually exposed our incompatibility. I am very satisfied with my current life. I never want to go back to how things used to be. I brushed aside the chaotic thoughts in my mind, only to find a message from an unknown number on my phone. Fang Yan, let's go to the Brandenburg Gate tonight. You proposed to me there before, so give me a chance this time, okay? I looked down and chuckled. The Brandenburg Gate. I had proposed to Zhao Xiaojin right there. My fingers twitched slightly, and looking at this message laced with obvious intentions of reconciling, I typed out a reply. There's no need. You should be figuring out what to do with the child you and Xia Qiang created. Less than an hour after this message was sent, someone knocked on my door. Translated combined with above, I peered through the peephole, and it was indeed Zhao Xiaojin. A look of unprecedented panic painted her face, her forehead even beaded with sweat. But I had no intention of opening the door. Her emotions were none of my business anymore. I had already muted my phone beforehand. It sat silently on the bed, flashing continuously. I didn't want to pay any attention to Zhao Xiaojin either, but she couldn't hold back anymore, yelling outside the door, Fang Yan, open the door, let's have a proper talk. I let out a scoff. With a woman who was about to become my ex-wife, I truly couldn't think of anything we needed to discuss. Zhao Xiaojin knocked harder and more frantically. I frowned, picked up my phone and rejected her call, and called the building's property manager. Someone is knocking on my door and harassing me here. Please send security up. They responded promptly. Right away, sir. In less than 3 minutes, Zhao Xiaojin was taken away. It was quiet outside the door once again. As for how to face her at the office tomorrow, I figured she probably wouldn't dare confront me in front of everyone at the branch, given the circumstances. After all, her affair with Xia Qiang was a massive scandal. If it was exposed, it wouldn't benefit her in any way whatsoever. That evening, my phone kept buzzing with messages in the group chat of 4 with Heou. Number 10, @FangYan. What's going on? Are you doing okay over there? Why is Zhao Xiaojin clinging to you like a dogskin plaster? Xiangnan. I just so happened to have a field trip location in mind recently, but haven't decided yet. How about I head over to Germany with you? At Fang Yun. Fang Yun, don't be sad. It's just one woman anyway. Back in college, Hao Yu and Xiang Nan, one a lawyer, the other a painter, had already chosen their majors early on. They both entered society quite early. In the dorms, number 10 was the one who was always by my side. He knew best just how much I loved Zhao Xiaojin, which is exactly why he was the most afraid that I wouldn't be able to move on. I smiled and replied to their messages. I'm fine. She's just a trashy ex-wife after all. At Xiangnan, there's no need. I have my own work to do over here. If you come over, I'm afraid I won't have much time to hang out with you. Seeing that my tone was completely normal and that I was even sending stickers, they finally felt reassured. After chatting with them, I put my phone down and drifted off to sleep. I unexpectedly had a dream about my college days with Zhao Xiaojin. Back then, I was totally infatuated with her, even if it just meant following her around. Handing out flyers by the street in the middle of summer was still somehow a joyful memory. Once we finally gave out all the flyers, our bodies were so drenched we looked like we'd just been pulled from the water. Zhao Xiaojin received the 80 yuan of part-time pay from the boss and immediately dragged me to a milk tea shop. She ordered the most expensive cup of milk tea, 32 yuan. I wanted to stop her, but she looked at me with a serious face and said, Fang Yan, I agreed to be with you, not to have you suffer alongside me. When I woke up and recalled the dream of us sharing that one cup of milk tea, I couldn't help but shake my head. Some people and some things are better left in the past. After all, whenever I think of Zhao Xiaojin now, I can't remember a single good thing. Only a dull sense of disgust remains. After I arrived at the company, I started my work as usual. Before long, a familiar figure was standing right in front of my desk. I looked up to face Zhao Xiaojin, her eyes staring intently at me. I smiled and asked her, Is there something you need, Director Zhao? Zhao Xiaojin felt the surrounding stares directed at us and whispered that we should talk outside, but I didn't budge. Instead, I raised my voice. Director Zhao, this is highly inappropriate of you. We're currently in the middle of negotiating our divorce. What do you mean by constantly coming to look for me? The looks from everyone around us instantly changed. Zhao Xiaojin's face darkened immediately. Looking at her acting like this, I suddenly remembered the day she celebrated Xia Qiang's birthday and bought milk tea for the entire company. I admit, I had my own selfish motives. I wanted to take revenge on her, but now that I was actually doing it, I didn't feel any thrill of executing a grand revenge. I just felt contempt for myself. I withdrew my gaze and said calmly, If you don't want me to say any more, then you should leave right now. I thought Zhao Xiaojin would have the sense to back off. At the very least, an arrogant person like her shouldn't be able to stand this kind of embarrassment. But I didn't expect her eyes to suddenly turn red. She lowered her gaze and said in a hoarse voice, Fang Yan, can you please just listen to my explanation? I couldn't help but pause, my hand movements. The floating text flashed before my eyes. The female lead finally realizes now that our guy wasn't just throwing a tantrum when he brought up divorce. She's panicking now. But since things have already come to this, getting the male lead to forgive her is going to be really tough. It wasn't for nothing that the female lead, after being kicked out of the apartment building last night, cried in her car and sat there all night. She finally figured it out. I thought for a moment. I have to work right now. We can talk after I get off work. The despondent look on Zhao Xiaojin's face instantly vanished. She let out a breath of relief. Okay, I'll wait for you outside the company after work. Feeling the gossiping stares all around us, I acted as if I hadn't heard anything. Except, when I grabbed my documents and stood up, I noticed that Bai Ningbing's seat was empty. I asked Zhang Tao, where did she go? Zhang Tao looked up, bewildered. Huh? Bai Ningbing? She took a leave of absence from her today. I nodded. Bai Ningbing was a capricious person by nature. Managing to stay at the company for a whole month was already beyond my expectations. She probably couldn't take it anymore in the end, and ran off somewhere to relax. After handing the documents over to the finance department, I was on my way back when I saw a missed call on my phone. It was from the headquarters. I hurriedly called back and heard the voice of the general manager's office assistant. Team leader Fang, the chairman asked me to make this call. His personal phone number has been sent to your inbox. This is his personal line. Just call him back whenever you have time. I held my phone in a slight daze. The chairman and I had only met a few times at the year-end parties at most. He once presented me with an Outstanding Employee Award. What kind of matter would warrant someone at my level calling his personal number directly? I couldn't figure it out no matter how hard I thought, but I still took my phone out into the hallway and dialed the number from my inbox. The line rang 3 times before someone picked up. I was a little nervous. Before I could even speak, the chairman's deep, warm laughter came through the receiver. Is this Fang Yan? I gripped my phone tightly. Chairman, what do you need me for? After a brief pause, he spoke. I remember you went to the same university as that worthless daughter of mine. She and I are having a bit of a conflict right now. It's a long journey, and I can't just drop everything and go there. Now she's throwing a tantrum and refusing to go to work. Would it be convenient for you to talk some sense into her for me? Hearing that it was about this, on one hand, I marveled at the chairman's care for Bai Ningbing, but on the other hand, it felt absolutely absurd. Bai Ningbing was almost 30 years old, throwing a fit at her family and having me go counsel her? What kind of nonsense was this? But since the other party was my ultimate boss, I could only agree. Just as I finished the call and prepared to head back to my desk, the floating text before my eyes made me silently stop in my tracks. Something's not quite right with this chairman. Yesterday he was on the phone with Bai Ningbing, clearly smiling to himself. Bai Ningbing is so lucky. She has money and a father who dotes on her. He's even willing to help her pursue the male lead. This was the first time I hadn't seen them mention Zhao Xiaojin in these comments, but the information they revealed was somewhat unbelievable to me. Bai Ningbing wants to pursue me? This was truly ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that I was almost 6 years older than Bai Ningbing, and our paths rarely ever crossed. With a family background and status like hers, she could have any kind of man she wanted. Why would she like a divorced man like me? As for the chairman helping her pursue me, that was even more impossible. People of their social class always focused on matching social status and arranged business marriages. That's what happens in all the novels. Countless thoughts flashed through my mind, but in the end, I decided to toss these words out of my head and focus on my work. Improving myself was the most important thing I needed to do right now. Thinking this way, I turned around and walked back to the office. As soon as I walked in, all my colleagues were looking at me with grins. Team leader Fang has been really lucky in love lately. Brother Fang Yan, come look at this. Zhang Tao was standing at my workstation, waving at me while stepping to the side. It was only then that I noticed a large, beautifully wrapped bouquet of sunflowers on my desk. Passionate and vibrant. I frowned and looked toward Zhao Xiaojin's office. Around here, she was the only one who knew I liked sunflowers. But when I glanced over, I saw her glaring at the bouquet, her eyes practically shooting flames. It wasn't her. I paused, walked over, and noticed a card nestled inside the flowers. Written in elegant handwriting, there was only a single line. Honoring today, awaiting tomorrow, congratulations on your freedom. Signed, Lisa. I raised an eyebrow. If I remember correctly, this is Bai Ningbing's English name. I pulled the card out, casually slipped it into my notebook. Jiang Tao looked at me with a smirk and asked gossip like, Brother Fang Yan, which beauty gave you this? I shot him a glance. I don't know. Stop asking so many questions and get back to work. He stuck out his tongue and dutifully returned to his desk. I moved the bouquet to the side, sat down, and looked at the spreadsheets my subordinates had submitted today. But occasionally turning my head and seeing the sunflowers bathing in the sunlight, I couldn't deny they looked rather beautiful. It was soon time to get off work. I was still in the middle of a work report with the headquarters. Almost everyone around me had already left. By the time I ended the video conference with them, the office had long been completely empty. No, not entirely. I turned to see Zhao Xiaojin standing at the door and frowned. Seeing that I was done with work, she walked over. Is this the reason you wanted to come to Germany? To run away from me so you could be with someone else? I was left a bit speechless by her baseless accusations. I coldly replied, so a single bouquet of flowers proves I'm with someone else now? Then what about all your intimate actions with Xia Qiang before? Can I sue you for bigamy? Zhao Xiaojin stared at me, a hint of disbelief in her eyes. Since when did you become so aggressive? Her relentless interrogations were starting to annoy me. I stood straight up, entirely out of the mood to keep talking. Zhao Xiaojin, over the years, I've been way too forgiving of you. That's what made you think I was weak and easy to push around. You must have forgotten. Back in college, I was the captain of the debate team. Also, whoever I associate with and where this bouquet came from is none of your business. I don't need to explain anything to you. Let me remind you one last time. I want a divorce from you. Zhao Xiaojin was triggered by something and immediately fired up. Why won't you explain? Aren't we still legally married right now? You're having an affair? The moment her self-righteous words fell, the text in front of my eyes jumped up again. Does the female lead still not grasp the situation? Our guy doesn't want her anymore. The female lead is just so anxious. She's lost all sense of boundaries. She just cares too much about the male lead. What did she do wrong? Even up to this point, hasn't the female lead ever thought of giving the male lead a proper apology? I'm kind of exhausted here. I even want to support our guy embracing a new romance. Throw this female lead away. Looking past these floating lines, I looked into Zhao Xiaojin's slightly bloodshot eyes and suddenly recalled something from a very long time ago. When we had just graduated from college, Zhao Xiaojin wasn't yet the elite talent with a multi-million-dollar salary that she is today. Both her parents didn't want to deal with her anymore. After leaving her the old house she has now, they never checked up on her life again. But my parents, worried about me, exhausted all their connections and resources to boost Zhao Xiaojin's career. Back then, Zhao Xiaojin and I spent far more time apart than together. Every time we met, if she wasn't busy studying for exams, she was constantly talking about work. As things went on, a few people started appearing around me, trying to take advantage of the void to slide in. Among them, some knew I had a girlfriend, while others didn't. Right when they were passionately pursuing me, Zhao Xiaojin showed up. She brought a bouquet of sunflowers even bigger than the one today and waited for me at the campus gate. As soon as we met, she didn't say a word, but directly kissed me on the lips. She said, Fang Yan, wait for me just a little longer. I will stand at a height above all of them to bring you happiness. Even though I had never thought about betraying her, those words of hers still made me genuinely happy. After that, I waited. I waited until she joined the ranks of the elite, waited until she stopped coming home at night, waited until she met Xia Qiang, and ended up having a child with him. Thinking back on the past, I only felt how laughable it was. For her to stand in front of me now and interrogate me about whether I'm having an affair, Zhao Xiaojin was being even more laughable. I lifted my chin and looked at her coldly. Then go ahead and sue me. It might actually speed up our divorce process. Regardless, your house is your house. I don't want it anyway. Going our separate ways is exactly what I want. Zhao Xiaojin's pupils contracted, her chest heaving a few times as if she were completely at a loss for words. Looking at her, I felt like I was looking at my past self, just as helpless, just as full of disbelief, and just as heartbroken. It turns out that karma really does come around, and this saying can actually become reality. I chuckled, pushed her aside, and quickly walked away. When I got back to the apartment, Bai Ningbing was already waiting downstairs. She was driving a dark red Maserati sports car and smiled radiantly at me. Brother Feng Yan, did you like the gift I gave you today? I glanced at her and said flatly, where did you find out that I like sunflowers? Also, you took the entire day off today just to give me a bouquet of flowers? Bai Ningbing's face immediately fell. She said helplessly, it's after work hours now. You're not my boss anymore. Can we just act like friends? I casually replied, even if I'm not your boss, I'm still your senior. It's not out of line for an elder to ask a few questions. Bai Ningbing frowned almost imperceptibly. A senior is fine, but let's drop the elder part. You're only 6 years older than me. How does that make you an elder? I was about to say more when she raised her hand to cut me off. Let's not talk about this anymore. The night scenery is beautiful tonight. Are you in the mood to go for a drive with me? I looked at the bright stars in the sky and did feel a bit interested. The floating text flickered before my eyes again. Yes, 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 this is exactly the vibe. This girl is actually pretty romantic. This isn't good. The male lead hasn't even divorced the female lead yet, and he's already getting into someone else's car? Considering the female lead already had a child with someone else, I support the male lead, I thought for a moment. Sure. I'll go get my car. Bai Ningbing froze. You're not riding in my car? I smiled at her. Sorry. Only when the steering wheel is in my own hands do I feel a sense of security. In the end, Bai Ningbing and I drove 2 separate cars, leaving the apartment one after the other. I looked in the rearview mirror, always maintaining a moderate speed. Bai Ningbing followed closely behind, while I unconsciously thought about how to reject her. After all, I had no interest in a girl who was 6 years younger than me. Furthermore, Bai Ningbing's upbringing was completely different from mine. I had no desire to coddle her or yield to her whims. We were inherently birds flying in opposite directions. It would be agonizing for either side to give up their own habits. We drove around the streets aimlessly until Bai Ningbing sent me a message. Brother Feng Yan, there's a bar street up ahead. Wanna hang out there? I glanced at the brightly lit street ahead and replied with a single word, sure. After parking the cars, Bai Ningbing walked up from behind and said to me, Brother Feng Yan, how's your alcohol tolerance? The drinks in Berlin are pretty strong. I thought about it for a second. Back when I was just a staff member in the technical department, I used to attend business banquets. A bottle of 40 or 50 proof Moutai, I could easily finish a whole bottle by myself. My tolerance shouldn't be too bad. I nodded to her. She then picked a bar. After taking our seats, she selected a bunch of drinks and snacks on the digital menu. Brother Feng Yan, the garlic chicken here is quite good. I'm sure you'll find it delicious. I hadn't even had the chance to reply when I heard Zhao Xiaojin's voice ring out next to us. He hates garlic the most. You invited someone out to eat? Didn't you do your research beforehand? I turned my head to see Zhao Xiaojin standing right next to me, her face looking gloomy. I frowned. What are you doing here? Zhao Xiaojin ignored the annoyance in my tone and sat straight down beside me. I originally had some work matters I wanted to discuss with you, but when I went looking for you, I saw you heading out, so I just followed along. She said it without the slightest trace of embarrassment. Her sitting posture was exactly the same as when we were still in love, her hand instinctively hooking onto my arm, in a gesture declaring her sovereignty over me. In the past, whenever we went out together, her friends would tease her. He's right in front of your eyes. Are you still afraid Feng Yan is going to run away? She would say she was just used to it. But now, I deeply disliked this habit of hers. I looked at her coldly. Please take your hands off me. Zhao Xiaojin's expression stiffened. She stared at me, unmoving. I looked right back at her without hesitation, the sheer resolve in my eyes, stark and unmistakable. She finally let go and placed her hands on her knees, clenching them tightly. I turned my head to look at Bai Ningbing. Order a portion and let's try it. Zhao Xiaojin would probably never know that it wasn't that I didn't like garlic. It was just because, in the past, she once mentioned that she was allergic to it. That was why I hadn't eaten it for so long. Now I didn't have to worry about her anymore. Naturally, I could try anything I wanted. Bai Ningbing had initially been hesitant, but upon hearing me say that, she conveniently ordered a portion. She flashed a provocative smile at Zhao Xiaojin, her little canine tooth making her look rather triumphant. I also curled my lips into a smile. If Zhao Xiaojin insisted on coming here to seek her own misery, then she shouldn't blame me for not saving her face. Just then, Bai Ningbing added another remark. Miss Zhao, I'm only treating Brother Feng Yan tonight, so you'll have to pay your own tab. Zhao Xiaojin's hands clenched even tighter, but for some reason, she stubbornly remained seated there. I didn't understand what she was thinking. The text flickered before my eyes. The female lead doesn't want to give anyone else a chance to get close to the male lead anymore. The female lead has lowered her pride this much, and the male lead still won't forgive her? Good job, my guy. Give back all the grievances you ever suffered. When our guy was all alone, she didn't care at all. It's too late to be jealous now. The food and drinks were brought up very quickly. The waitress who served the drinks was an Asian woman. After she finished setting things down, she spoke to us in somewhat broken Chinese. The bar has many games tonight that couples can participate in. You can even win a big prize. My interest was piqued. Interesting. What kind of games are there? Darts, roulette, king's game. Bai Ningbing's eyes lit up. Brother Fang Yan, I know how to play all of these games, especially darts. Whatever prize you want later, I'll win it for you. The waitress chuckled and wished the three of us a good time. After she left, Bai Ningbing looked at me eagerly, trying hard to pitch herself. Brother Fang Yan, I think I know this dart game. A guy and a girl go up together. The girl is blindfolded, and the guy gives her directions. Points are awarded for hitting the target. Let's go up together later. We can definitely win. Zhao Xiaojin spoke up coldly from the side. Miss Bai certainly seems to have done her research on partying and playing around. Bai Ningbing paused, then smiled with justified confidence. Of course, you have to play hard when you're young. It's much better than some old foxes who only know how to toy with people's feelings, right? Zhao Xiaojin's gaze instantly turned dangerous. The hands resting on her knees clenched so tightly that her knuckles turned pale. Bai Ningbing was getting impatient. I didn't point fingers at anyone. Why are you getting so worked up? Bai Ningbing put on a lazy front, making Zhao Xiaojin feel as if she had just punched a bag of cotton. I listened to them bickering back and forth, but I had no intention of intervening. I just took a sip of my drink, leisurely enjoying this pleasant atmosphere. Ever since I got together with Zhao Xiaojin, I rarely participated in social activities. I always stayed home to take care of her, waiting for her to come back, doing chores, living a dull life. Now that I've been freed, I naturally have to make up for all the fun I missed out on. I looked toward the front of the pub. Someone had already set up a dartboard there, and laid out a whole row of prizes. I scanned through them, my gaze stopping on a small doll. I vaguely remembered this little doll. Zhang Tao had one on his desk too. He would probably like it. He'll bring it to the office tomorrow, as a little surprise for him. I looked at Bai Ningbing. Sure, let's go play later. I want that red doll. Bai Ningbing replied excitedly. Okay, she said, turning her head to look for the doll I mentioned. Zhao Xiaojin beside us couldn't help but speak up. Since when do you like such weird-looking things? Fang Yan, don't do these things just to spite me. I didn't reply, but the text floating before my eyes couldn't hold back anymore. Oh, Miss Female Lead, he's not doing this to spite you. She genuinely wants it. Could the female lead try thinking from the male lead's perspective for once? Her attitude right now is just laughable. Pathetic female lead, does she still think the male lead can't let her go? Just remember one thing. Caring means liking. The male lead's nonchalance clearly shows he's over her. I read the last sentence and suddenly felt a bit curious. These words kept flashing before my eyes, but why could I even see them? Moreover, their way of thinking was exactly like real people. If they were real people, then what did they have to do with me? For a moment, I fell into deep thought, automatically ignoring Zhao Xiaojin's dark, profound gaze. The dart game quickly began. When the boss enthusiastically shouted, "Who will be our first brave warrior?" Bai Ningbing stood up without hesitation. "Me Fang Yan, let's go." I looked at Zhao Xiaojin beside me. "Excuse me, coming through." At the same time, the boss on the stage smiled and said, "Miss, your boyfriend is really handsome." Zhao Xiaojin abruptly stood up. "Excuse me for interrupting, but he's my partner. I'm playing with him." Before Bai Ningbing could even react, Zhao Xiaojin had already walked up to the dartboard. She looked straight at me. "Fang Yan, give me a chance. If I can't win the prize you want, I won't bother you anymore." I looked at Zhao Xiaojin in slight astonishment. During the years I was with her, she rarely took part in recreational activities. As for childish games like darts, she had absolutely never touched them. So where did this confidence of hers come from? However, her not bothering me anymore was exactly what I needed. I thought for a moment and looked at Bai Ningbing. "I'll play with you later." "I'm quite interested in the condition," she offered. Hearing me say that, Bai Ningbing smiled happily. "All right, I'll wait for her to lose." The competitive look on the little girl's face made me want to chuckle. I stood up, walked over to Zhao Xiaojin, and blindfolded her. The boss handed over 3 darts and explained the rules. The dartboard will be moving later, and the man can use any method to indicate the direction. All 3 darts must hit the board to choose a prize. If all 3 darts hit the bullseye, you'll win the grand prize of 5,000 yuan. I nodded, showing that I understood the rules. At this moment, a blindfolded Zhao Xiaojin suddenly whispered, "Fang Yan, for you, I won't lose." I was a bit dazed, recalling that there used to be a moment like this, when she also said such touching, affectionate words. It's just that times have changed, and hearing these words now, I felt absolutely nothing. After the board was secured, I casually said, "Southeast." Zhao Xiaojin suddenly tightened her grip on the dart. Such a vague direction, she seemed to have no idea how to pinpoint the target. She finally realized why I had come up here. I simply wanted her to lose. She gripped the dart forcefully, only to accidentally scratch her shoulder, drawing a trail of blood. She let out a bitter laugh. "Do you really want to ignore me that badly? Do you want me to completely disappear from your world that much?" "But still, Fang Yan, I won't lose." Hearing her say this, a strange feeling suddenly welled up inside me. But the next second, Zhao Xiaojin raised her hand, the dart flew out, and landed right on the board. I immediately furrowed my brows, while the text before my eyes also started flashing. As expected of the female lead, she really does have some skills. For the male lead, she's risking it all. That's great. She grasped this one-third chance. She can definitely pull off the next two as well. Male lead, stop torturing her. Give her a chance already. The board moved again. I stayed silent for a moment, then said flatly, West. This time it was even more general. Zhao Xiaojin pursed her red lips tightly, her mouth tense. But very quickly, the dart flew out and hit the board. This time, not only me, but even the guests drinking below started cursing, suspecting foul play. Seeing this, the boss hurriedly stepped forward. Sir, we need to inspect the lady's blindfold. I took a step back. Of course you can. Even I suspected that Zhao Xiaojin was cheating, so it was completely normal for others to doubt it too. But very quickly, the boss personally changed Zhao Xiaojin's blindfold. Perhaps his reputation in this area was excellent because no one booed anymore. Everyone focused all their attention on Zhao Xiaojin. I glanced at the dartboard standing upright in front of us and immediately called out the opposite direction. Southwest. Zhao Xiaojin paused for a moment and turned towards the direction I was looking. I couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The dart flew from her hand again, shooting towards the empty space in front of her. Clang, under my look of utter disbelief. That dart actually bounced off the wall, then ricocheted, and struck right into the adjacent dartboard. The pub fell silent for a split second, followed by a deafening roar of cheers. They no longer suspected Zhao Xiaojin. Instead, they felt this was some mystical Eastern power. Only Bai Ningbing shouted loudly, "What kind of black magic is this?" The cheers proved everything. Zhao Xiaojin took off the pitch-black blindfold, her eyes shining with a glimmer of light. Fang Yan. Even the heavens want us to be together. The cheers in the pub made my heart go numb. I vaguely heard someone say, "What a romantic love." For a fleeting moment, I looked at Zhao Xiaojin, my mind a bit flustered and unsettled. And at this very moment, the text before my eyes was also dancing. Now that's our female lead, pulling it off so perfectly even if she's never done it before. Give me a break, it's not like she's never done it. My man, while you were waiting at home for her, she took her assistant out to play so many times. Don't go imagining any main character halo on this female lead. My guy here is the ultimate male lead of this whole book. Fang Yan, a violent shake, snapped me back from my daze. I saw Bai Ningbing gripping my arm tightly, a worried look on her face. I instinctively spoke up. What's wrong? Bai Ningbing looked at me nervously. You were just standing here completely frozen. No matter how much I called you, you didn't react. Fang Yan, are you all right? I was just about to answer when Zhao Xiaojin cut me off. She swatted Bai Ningbing's hand away, her voice cold. Bai Ningbing, he's mine. Watch your behavior. Her tone was full of certainty and dominance, as if she had finally found some solid backing. Was it because of that prize? I frowned, ignoring what she said, and looked at Bai Ningbing. I'm done playing with her. I want that red doll. Can you help me win it? Bai Ningbing rubbed her hands together. Of course. Zhao Xiaojin's face instantly turned terribly grim. She looked at me as if I were some heartless betrayer, but I didn't look at her. The floating text from just now had told me that her masterful dart skills were honed through practicing with Xia Qiang. How could I possibly want a gift from someone like that? Amidst the boss's laughter, I casually picked a prize that Zhao Xiaojin had won, then started a new round with Bai Ningbing. Zhao Xiaojin stood below the stage with a dark expression, staring at me, much more accurate than giving her directions. The gazes of the others watching us also became full of underlying meaning. Perhaps people abroad are a bit more open-minded. They weren't strangers to the drama of two women fighting over one man, and even enjoyed watching it. After Bai Ningbing and I finished the game, I received the red doll just as I wanted. I smiled and nodded to Bai Ningbing. Thanks. Bai Ningbing cast a side glance at Zhao Xiaojin, and like a victorious general, she stepped down from the stage with her head held high. Miss Zhao, sometimes having good skills is just useless. The important thing is whether the other person wants to give you a chance or not. Zhao Xiaojin clenched her fists tightly, the icy chill in her voice seeming enough to freeze a person solid. Bai Ningbing, if your professional capabilities were as sharp as your tongue, that would be great. Bai Ningbing shrugged indifferently. I don't care, I have money. I can just hire experts like you to work for me. A single sentence hitting right at the sore spot, causing Zhao Xiaojin's face to instantly darken. She couldn't help but look at me. I looked back at her coldly. That's enough for tonight, I need to head home now. Zhao Xiaojin hurriedly said, They'll take you home. No need, I have my own car. Perhaps because being repeatedly rejected made her lose too much face, she gritted her teeth and said, Fang Yan, you just promised me. I raised an eyebrow. I promised you? You said it yourself, that if you lost, you wouldn't bother me. But I never said that if you won, I'd have to accept you. So whether you bother me or not doesn't affect the fact that I'm rejecting you, does it? With that said, I walked straight out the pub door without a single shred of hesitation. A peaceful night of sleep. The next day when I arrived at the office, it was still very early. I placed the red doll on Zhang Tao's desk and casually snapped a picture to send him. Unsurprisingly, I received a 60-second voice message from him, full of sheer thrill and excitement. The screaming made me slightly uncomfortable, so I didn't listen to the rest. When I walked over to my workstation, I saw a breakfast meal placed on my desk. Buns and soy milk, and from the smell, they seemed to be pork and scallion filling. I paused as the text before my eyes started flashing. This is definitely from the female lead. This is the male lead's favorite breakfast. That's right. Back in college, they went to so many places just for this dish. Let me correct you a bit. The female lead didn't buy this. She made it with her own hands. In a foreign land, a taste of home, the female lead is so thoughtful. I stared fixedly at the steaming buns, then pushed them aside. Just as I was about to take out the sandwich I made this morning from my bag, Zhao Xiaojin walked up to me. She frowned at me. Eating this in the morning has no nutrition. It won't be good if your stomachache acts up later. I had noticed earlier that her office door was slightly ajar, so seeing her now was no surprise. I merely cast my eyes down. Don't bother making breakfast for me anymore. I don't like it. Zhao Xiaojin was silent for a moment. Then what do you like to eat? We'll make it for you. I placed the sandwich in my hand onto the desk and coldly said, no need. What I don't like eating is anything made by your hands. Make sense to you? Zhao Xiaojin seemed a bit struck, but she still said, I know you're still angry right now, but I'll use my actions to prove that I truly know I was wrong. As for the baby, I'll figure out a way to resolve it. So Zhao Xiaojin was admitting that the baby in her womb belonged to Xiaqiang. During the times I didn't know, things they did together were far more intimate than the photo of them hugging and kissing that was sent to me. Just thinking about it, I felt something welling up in my throat, making me incredibly nauseous. Waiting for that sensation to pass, I looked at Zhao Xiaojin, only feeling how alien her delicate face had become. Before I could even speak, Bai Ningbing's voice rang out. Fang Yan, come here quick. I brought breakfast for you and Jiang Tao, Chinese-style breakfast. A few other colleagues came over one by one to tease her. Bai Ningbing, why did you only bring it for the two handsome guys? Where's ours? Bai Ningbing giggled. I'm on their team after all. If I ever get transferred to your team, I'll make sure to butter you all up too. Her beaming, grinning face made the others unable to hold back their laughter. Bai Ningbing walked over, blatantly elbowing past Zhao Xiaojin, and placed the breakfast on my desk. Tenderloin wraps and hot milk, one portion for each of you. I looked at her, then glanced at Zhao Xiaojin, who was staring intently at me from the side, and ultimately accepted it. But I figured that when I have the time, I still need to make things clear with Bai Ningbing. Being friends with each other would be best. If not, I should advise her not to waste her effort on me. I took Bai Ningbing's breakfast, thank you. Zhao Xiaojin stood by and watched, her anger seemingly boiling right to the top of her head, but in just a moment, she swallowed it back down. The text before my eyes trembled non-stop. The female lead is so pathetic, getting utterly crushed by her love rival. This female lead deserves it anyway. Who told her to be unfaithful and betray our guy? What a shame. The female lead could have lived a great life with the male lead forever. I watched Zhao Xiaojin's gloomy figure walking away, my heart completely unbothered. I thought for a moment, opened WeChat to ask my superior back in the country how long Zhao Xiaojin and Xiaqiang's inspection trip here would last. Not long after, the other party replied to my message. They were specially dispatched by the technical department, so I can't say for sure. It all depends on the results of their inspection. For now, the technical department asked me to allocate 1 month's funding for them. 1 month? I calculated in my head. Zhao Xiaojin had been here for less than a week. The days ahead are going to be quite tough. I sighed inwardly and buried myself in my work, not thinking about anything else. Except around noon at lunch break, Zhao Xiaojin received a call from someone unknown and rushed out in a hurry. I cast a casual glance, then withdrew my gaze. But very soon, Xiaqiang sent me a message. Team Leader Fang, are you free this noon? Let's have a casual meal together, if that's all right with you. I have something I want to tell you. I couldn't help but shoot a glance toward Zhao Xiaojin's office, and saw Xiaqiang looking at me with an expectant face. That gaze was extremely complex. For some reason, I suddenly felt that he was a bit pitiful. I replied, okay. The break time came very quickly. I told Jiang Tao, who had just come looking for me. I have something to do this noon, you go eat with Bai Ningbing. Seeing me say that, Jiang Tao could only let out a dejected reply and went to find Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing first cast a surprised look at me before heading out with Jiang Tao. As for Xiaqiang and I, we found a relatively quiet restaurant and sat down. After we finished ordering, Xiaqiang seemed a bit tense, his hands were intertwined, and after a long while he finally said his first sentence. Team Leader Fang, I'm sorry. About the baby, you'll tell her to get rid of it. I looked at his youthful face that bore an out-of-place haggardness. I don't know if it's because I no longer love Zhao Xiaojin, but I even felt that his appearance wasn't as spiteful as before. I thought for a moment. If you want to keep that baby, it's fine. Since I'm about to divorce Zhao Xiaojin anyway, you can secure your status through the child. I had no intention of being sarcastic towards Xiaqiang. It's just that, since he had already intruded on my marriage, he might as well achieve his goal, which would also leave Zhao Xiaojin with no reason to bother me. How great would that be? Just as I was thinking this, I heard Xiaqiang let out a bitter laugh. Team Leader Fang, I'm afraid you won't be able to get a divorce from her. I suddenly furrowed my brows. What do you mean? Lately, she's been constantly contacting lawyers to find out if she doesn't agree to the divorce. Would it mean that the two of you cannot get divorced? She sought out several prominent lawyers, and their answers were all the same. She has the right to refuse the divorce, and that divorce agreement of yours is nothing more than scrap paper to her. Furthermore, even if the baby in her womb can be proven to be mine, and you take it to court, it's highly likely that a divorce won't be granted. I knit my brows tightly, wondering why Xiaqiang was telling me all this. But what made me most uneasy was his remark about not being able to divorce. Am I really going to be tangled up with Zhao Xiaojin for the rest of my life? I couldn't help but shudder. Xiaqiang looked at me. I'm sorry, team leader Fang. At first I thought your marriage was a loveless one because I honestly couldn't see Director Zhao liking you. But these past few days, I finally saw things clearly. To her, I'm just an expendable tool. A tool solely meant to provoke your attention towards her. Xia Qiang smiled bitterly. I know I'm extremely despicable for having intruded into your marriage. Director Zhao was the most suitable and capable person I could get close to. I thought you two didn't love each other, so I wanted to take a shot at it, also to fight for a future for myself. But now, I have lost miserably. I sincerely apologize to you. I looked at his grief-stricken face, suddenly remembering when he first joined the company, youthful and full of vitality, brimming with a fighting spirit and full of passion. He was always hovering around the tech staff, eager to learn more things. When exactly did Xia Qiang change? Was it his first time attending a high society banquet with Zhao Xiaojin? Or was it his first time receiving an expensive gift from Zhao Xiaojin? I didn't know. I just said flatly, you could never win. When you entrust your future to someone else, you are destined to lose miserably. As for what you are experiencing now, I don't sympathize because you brought it all upon yourself. But I also thank you for showing me Zhao Xiaojin's true colors. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have escaped this quagmire so quickly. Whatever happens next, you decide for yourself. I called the waiter over to pay the bill first. Then I stood up and walked straight out. Xia Qiang didn't stop me. He just sat there with his head bowed down. His short hair covered his eyes, making it impossible to see his emotions clearly. Only right before getting in the car, I glanced back and saw him burying his face in his hands, his shoulders shaking slightly. I don't know why, but my heart suddenly felt a bit heavy. Back at the company, as soon as I finished parking, I saw Zhao Xiaojin getting out of her car carrying a thermos. Our eyes met. She was stunned at first, then a smile flashed across her face. She walked right up to me and said softly, Fang Yan, this is the Tuckahoe chicken soup you like best. I stewed it for a long time. Looking at the thermos she held out to me, Xia Qiang's bitter smile suddenly flashed before my eyes. I don't know where the anger came from. I forcefully pushed her bowl of chicken soup away and said coldly, I don't need it. Zhao Xiaojin, you are clearly the one in the wrong. How can you still stand here so casually? You want to beg for my forgiveness. Have you ever thought about Xia? What gives you the right? My anger left Zhao Xiaojin stunned. Right after, the smile on her face vanished. Fang Yan, I was wrong before. But aren't I trying to make it up to you now? Stop bringing up Xia Qiang all the time. Whatever happens to him has nothing to do with you and me. From now on, it'll just be the two of us. I looked at her slightly impatient expression, and my heart suddenly turned cold. The floating text flashed before my eyes again. The female lead hasn't realized her mistakes at all. She thinks that as long as she comes back, the male lead will forgive her. It's fine for her to have an affair. But when our guy just receives a bouquet from someone else, she flipped out. What the hell is that? Am I the only one who pities Xia Qiang? He got absolutely nothing and ended up with a broken heart. That last sentence made me shudder involuntarily. Whether it's the pain that I or Xia Qiang have suffered, it was all caused by Zhao Xiaojin. If she cared enough, there wouldn't have been any affairs or cold wars. If she truly liked Xia Qiang, then she should take responsibility for him. But right now, she's neither sincerely apologizing to me, nor showing any respect for Xia Qiang. What gives her the right to comfortably string along two men? She's been given way too much face. Seeing me stay silent, Zhao Xiaojin shoved the chicken soup into my hands, saying, Be good, drink it up. The very next second, I gripped that thermos tightly and hurled it far away. Clang! The metal container hit the ground with a sharp sound. The chicken soup inside spilled all over the floor. I coldly looked at Zhao Xiaojin, whose face had changed color. How much for both the soup and the container? He'll transfer the money. Stop coming around and sickening me. Zhao Xiaojin's cold face faintly flushed red, probably out of anger. She clenched her fists, her voice carrying suppressed rage. Fang Yan, you're humiliating me. I stared at her coldly. Aren't you humiliating me too? Otherwise, why would you keep clinging to me time and time again, thinking that I would forgive your betrayal? Zhao Xiaojin saw I was about to leave. She quickly stepped in front of me. Her eyes finally showed a hint of softness. Fang Yan, I admit I was wrong. Please believe me. I can't live without you. I promise nothing like this will ever happen again. The text before my eyes danced around. The female lead is finally pouring her heart out. Too bad it's after the male lead has completely fallen out of love with her. I had waited for a certain phrase, waited for a very long time, but now that the female lead actually said it, I didn't feel happy at all. The male lead doesn't need the female lead anymore. I don't care. Zhao Xiaojin, I walked right past her and returned to the office. The irritation in my heart hadn't subsided yet. When I met Bai Ningbing's smiling face. Fang Yan, I brought you some rice balls. Try them, they're delicious. I looked at her indifferently and said coldly, It just so happens I haven't eaten anything for lunch. How much is it? I'll transfer the money to you. Bai Ningbing smiled sweetly. What kind of relationship do we have? There's no need for money. I said nothing, just quietly looked at her. Bai Ningbing probably noticed that I was in a bad mood. Her smile faded a bit, but she still had her own stubbornness. Fang Yan, it really didn't cost much. I nodded, turned around and sat down, and pushed the rice balls aside. Bai Ningbing wanted to say something, but I was already focused on my computer screen. She could only return to her desk, looking dejected, until it was time to get off work. Those rice balls had turned ice cold. I didn't touch a single bite. Having eaten nothing all day, after getting off work, my whole body felt a bit woozy. After getting in the car, I quickly found a piece of candy and popped it into my mouth, finally alleviating that dizzy spell. I suddenly remembered the Zhao Xiaojin from the past. No matter how busy she was, she would always pay attention to my 3 meals a day. I shook my head, silently cursing myself for being truly starved. To actually think of that scumbag. Zhao Xiaojin had long lost any halo in my heart by now. All that's left is regret, the remorse of loving the wrong person and the disgust of trusting the wrong person. Just as I started the car, a text from Xieqiang came to my phone. Team leader Fang, I've resigned. Thank you for waking me up. In the future, if you need any help, just call and I'll be there. Looking at this message, I didn't reply, just set my phone aside. But the heavy burden in my heart seemed to have lightened significantly. Gripping the steering wheel, I let out a heavy breath, laughing at myself. I'm still too soft-hearted. After saying that, I drove straight back to my apartment. By the time I got home, cooked, and lay down on the couch, it was nearly 8 o'clock. How you called right at this moment. Fang Yan, I've got it all sorted out. The baby Zhao Xiaojin is carrying really belongs to Xieqiang. Listening to his non-stop cursing, I couldn't help but smile. I know, but Xieqiang was ready to have her abort the baby. How you was stunned. Is he out of his mind? Didn't he want to use this child to hold on to Zhao Xiaojin? I recounted everything that had happened over the past few days to him. How you also fell silent. Feeling a bit uneasy, I asked him. Xieqiang said, as long as Zhao Xiaojin doesn't agree, then I won't be able to get a divorce. Is that true? How you scoffed. Does she dare refuse a divorce? I've got plenty of ways to deal with her. Just the affair during the marriage is enough to make her lose her job. I have friends who hacked into your company's official website. When the time comes, as soon as the post goes up, it would be a miracle if Zhao Xiaojin didn't panic. No way. You wait there. I'm coming to Germany to find you. We have to get this divorce finalized immediately. Before I could even say a word, How you hung up. I thought about it seriously. Ever since I handed the divorce papers to Zhao Xiaojin, there hasn't been any further news. If she keeps stalling the divorce, it really will have a certain impact on me. I thought for a moment, then applied for leave from my boss through the software. How you is a hothead. He'll probably arrive tomorrow. I have to go pick him up. After my leave was approved, I gave Hao Yu a heads up, telling him to send me his flight info when the time comes. Then I fell asleep. When I woke up the next day, there was already a text from Hao Yu on my phone. Landing at 11 p.m., I thought for a bit and decided to video call my parents. They picked up very quickly. The first thing my mom said when she saw me was, "Why have you gotten so thin?" My slight anxiety vanished without a trace at her words. I haven't gotten thin. In fact, I've even gained a bit of weight. My mom smiled too. I don't believe you. When you come back, you'll have to fatten you up. I stared at the screen and still said what I wanted to say. Mom, my friend is coming over today to help me divorce Zhao Xiaojin. My mom instantly stopped smiling. My dad, who had been sitting quietly in the background, my heart sank. I asked subconsciously, "Do you guys not want me to divorce her?" My mom hurriedly said, "No, I just think that since you're so far away now, your dad and I can't help you with this divorce." My nose suddenly stung a little. It's my fault. I'm this old already, and I'm still making you guys worry. I took a deep breath. Once I get this divorce sorted out, he'll take some time off and come home for a visit. My mom nodded repeatedly. My dad finally spoke up. Fang Yan, if you suffer any grievances over there, you must tell us. If Zhao Xiaojin dares to betray you, I'll go straight to her house. My house and Zhao Xiaojin's house aren't far apart. It's only about an hour and a half drive. From the time we started dating to when we got married, our parents used to visit each other frequently, but it was mostly my parents going to her house. Thinking back on it now, if it weren't for me, they wouldn't have had to travel so exhaustingly. In the past, Zhao Xiaojin always used the excuse of disliking family visits to refuse going to my house. Sometimes I would accommodate her. Sometimes I would go home alone. Later, it became me going to her house with her every year. My parents would personally come over during the holidays, just to see me for a bit. Thinking about the past, my eyes couldn't help but redden. My mom quickly asked why I was crying. I hurriedly held back my tears and said softly, "I just thought that I can finally spend a complete Lunar New Year with you guys." My mom and dad looked at each other and smiled. That's right. Our son is finally coming home soon. After ending the video call, my heart felt incredibly relieved. Actually, divorcing Zhao Xiaojin brings only benefits, no harm. I leaned back on the couch. Looking outside, a few lines of text flashed before my eyes again. No more drama after this. Looks like the male lead is completely cutting ties with the female lead. But wasn't it said before that the male lead would definitely end up with the female lead? That's not right. If that's the case, then this play has a terrible ending. The male lead doesn't want the female lead anymore. What's left to watch? I spoke up instinctively. If my life is a play, then who is the main director of this play? The text before my eyes suddenly stopped moving. Just as I was wondering, the very next second, the words suddenly started dancing wildly. No way. Our guy can hear what I'm saying? Is this a bug? Admin, get out here quickly. The male lead seems to be able to hear us talking. Oppa, look at me, look at me. I've always supported you divorcing the female lead. I looked at these words. A strange thought suddenly sprang to my mind. Could I actually communicate with them? I tried speaking out. Who are you people? The text before my eyes immediately flashed. Our guy can actually hear us talking. Male lead, you have to bravely be yourself. Don't be controlled by the plot. The male lead should be with the female lead. That's his destiny. The female lead is good enough already. The male lead is too insatiable. Amidst a sea of constantly flashing text, I had roughly figured it out. So these floating words came from people in a parallel dimension. People just like me, only in their perception. Me, Zhao Xiaojin, and everyone around me are all characters in a novel, advancing step by step according to a predetermined plot, a long-destined ending. For example, after Zhao Xiaojin goes through a crematorium-style husband-chasing arc, I should forgive her, and then live happily ever after with her. I couldn't help but furrow my brows tightly. Me forgiving Zhao Xiaojin is simply absurd. Just as I was about to say something else, the text before my eyes suddenly turned into a bunch of error codes, then disappeared into thin air. Afterward, a notification that looked like a code-running error appeared before my eyes. System admin announcement. A runtime error has occurred. Commencing repairs now. We take this opportunity to warn the spectators. This world is not a novel as you think it is, but a real world just like yours. Every person in the book is an entity of flesh and blood. Fang Yan is only the male lead from your perspective, but no matter what he thinks or does, you have no right to manipulate him. Only he can master his own life. In light of the administrator's negligence, which caused a connection between worlds, compensation will now be issued to Fang Yan, fixing error, following the string of ellipses slowly vanishing before my eyes. I could no longer see any floating text. I tentatively called out, "Is anyone there?" I stared at the spot where the words used to appear, but this time it was completely empty. The words that had constantly accompanied me were gone. I suddenly felt a slight emptiness in my heart. I recalled their words. Although the majority of them spoke up for Zhao Xiaojin, there were still a few who thought of me. I was actually quite reluctant to see them go. I sat on the couch in disappointment for a long time before recovering. If they're gone, so be it. They arrived inexplicably when they first appeared, and left as swiftly as a storm, but that final part suited my taste perfectly, no matter what I think or do. They have no right to manipulate me, only I can master my own life. Thinking like that, the heaviness in my heart instantly dissipated completely. I tidied up the room a bit, and waited until 9:30 p.m. to drive to the airport. The roads were wide open, the lights were blindingly bright. I felt the night breeze blowing in from the window, and just felt in a very good mood. While waiting for Hao Yu at the airport, I suddenly remembered something. Some admin said they'd give me a reward. Where is the reward? Just as I was lost in thought, Hao Yu's voice rang out from behind me. Fang Yan. I turned my head and saw him walking toward me with a suitcase. He said excitedly, "Do you know what happened while I was on my way to find you? What happened at the Zhao family's house? Nowadays, just hearing about people and things related to Zhao Xiaojin annoys me." Losing a bit of interest, Hao Yu continued speaking. Zhao Xiaojin's mother somehow found out about her pregnancy. She was extremely agitated. She called Zhao Xiaojin, demanding that no matter what, she had to keep her and Xia Qiang's baby. I heard people say. She threw a huge crying tantrum, even threatening to hang herself. I don't know what Zhao Xiaojin said for her to finally stop. I chuckled. With my ex-mother-in-law's domineering personality, what else could Zhao Xiaojin possibly say? She must have agreed to her demands. That's the only way she let it go. As for Xia Qiang, if he wants to rely on the child, naturally, he'll want to keep the baby. But none of this is my concern. I took the suitcase from Hao Yu's hand. Let's go. While Hao Yu and I were on our way back, I received a phone call from Zhao Xiaojin. Fang Yan, let's find some time to have a proper talk tomorrow. I raised an eyebrow. Could this be the reward? I absolutely love this reward. A flight lasting over 20 hours. Hao Yu was so exhausted that he hit the bed and fell asleep right after showering. Only right before passing out, he forced himself to tell me, "Wake me up tomorrow morning. I want to deal with Zhao Xiaojin together with you." I looked at his groggy state. A trace of warmth washed over my heart, and I nodded in agreement, silent for the rest of the night. The next day, I woke Hao Yu up and headed to the company. The company has a lounge area. I gave HR a heads up, so Hao Yu could rest there. As I walked into the office area, I heard Zhao Xiaojin standing in the hallway making a call. If it wasn't you, who else would proactively tell my mom about the pregnancy? Xia Qiang, you really sicken me. That night, you clearly got me drunk. That's why at this point, she saw me, and her voice abruptly stopped. Zhao Xiaojin casually hung up the phone and walked toward me. I spoke coldly. It's working hours right now. Whatever it is, well, talk at noon. Seeing that I didn't want to pay her any mind, Zhao Xiaojin could only swallow all the words she wanted to say. But I figured Mother Zhao's domineering attitude must have made her very uncomfortable. Just looking at the dark circles under her eyes gave me a pretty good idea. When I returned to my desk, I saw a bouquet of sunflowers, 3 stems entwined together, giving off a vibrant feeling. I glanced at Bai Ningbing sitting at her desk, just happening to catch her looking over, and this time, she smiled at me naturally. Fang Yan, do you like it? I looked at her for 2 seconds, and nodded. It's quite pretty. If it were given by someone I liked, I would find it even more beautiful. That one sentence caused Bai Ningbing's smile to instantly vanish. Even though she was 6 years younger than me, the rice balls from last time, and the sunflowers this time were enough to make her clearly understand my intentions. I have no interest in her. For a wealthy young lady like her, even if she has a crush on me, there's a limit. I've never believed in love at first sight, let alone having the mental energy to seamlessly accept someone else. Right after a previous relationship had just ended, Bai Ningbing looked at me for a very long time. I even felt her eyes were a bit red before she finally spoke. I understand. Fang Yan. After saying this, she immediately turned her head and stared blankly at her screen. Any extra expressions? I could no longer see clearly. Only when I booted up my computer I received a message from her. I'm sorry. I hope my presumptuous affection didn't cause you any trouble. I lowered my eyes and thought for a moment, and still didn't reply to any of her messages. Some things only need to be said that far. There's no need to spell it out too clearly. Time ticked away bit by bit until noon. Zhao Xiaojin was already waiting in the hallway. Let's go. I didn't budge. Only after sending a message to Hao Yu did I say, I'm still waiting for someone. Zhao Xiaojin furrowed her brows, but said nothing. Until she saw Hao Yu. Her expression changed. Fang Yan. This is between the two of us. Why did you call him here? I stated coldly. He's the lawyer in charge of my divorce case. Zhao Xiaojin was instantly rendered speechless for a long time. She smiled bitterly. So from the very beginning to the end, you never gave up the idea of divorcing me, I corrected her. Ever since I left the divorce papers for you, the two of us have been completely over. You're the one who keeps dragging this out. My merciless words made Zhao Xiaojin's face look awful. She turned around and stormed off. Very quickly we were sitting in a private room at a nearby Chinese restaurant. She looked at Hao Yu, expertly pulling out documents, and couldn't help but say, there's no need to take those out. I agree to the divorce. The house is mine. Consider it as compensation. As for our shared assets after marriage, I can yield a little to you. She looked at me and took a deep breath. Whether you believe it or not, the child between Xia Qiang and me was truly an accident. He got me drunk when I wasn't paying attention. That absurd thing happened when I was completely unconscious. I stared at her for a few seconds, then spoke coldly. Zhao Xiaojin, you were drunk, not unconscious. Seeing Zhao Xiaojin freeze, I pushed the divorce agreement Hao Yu had just drafted right in front of her. Sign it. From now on, you and I have nothing to do with each other. Zhao Xiaojin remained silent for a long time before picking up the pen to sign her name on the document. Waiting for her to finish signing, I also put pen to paper, signing at the very bottom of the document. As I finished the final stroke, I heard Zhao Xiaojin's hoarse voice ring out. This might be the last time our names are placed next to each other. I folded the document and just said one thing. Stop being so dramatic. Then I stood up and strode out of the restaurant with Hao Yu. As for having a final farewell meal with Zhao Xiaojin, I really couldn't swallow it down. Walking out of the restaurant, I thought this would be a drawn-out battle, but I never expected it to end so quickly. I tightly gripped the divorce agreement. Zhao Xiaojin had relied on her mother since she was little. She couldn't ignore her mother's thoughts. Mother Zhao had never liked me much, but this time I truly thanked her for helping me. After Zhao Xiaojin finished signing the divorce agreement, she immediately returned to our home country. The next day when I arrived at the office, there was no sign of her anywhere. Come to think of it, the 1-month deadline was almost up anyway. I didn't think too much about it and just focused on doing my job. 3 months flew by in the blink of an eye. During these 3 months, Bai Ningbing seemed to have let go of her feelings for me and started treating me normally. As for Jiang Taiyou, he also found a blonde, blue-eyed foreign girlfriend. They were incredibly sweet all day long. I also received my divorce certificate sent from back home. Furthermore, I excelled at my work and was officially appointed as the general manager of the branch company. My salary was 4 times what it was when I was a technician. I was deeply satisfied with my current life. That day, a PPT file suddenly appeared in the branch company's group chat. The title was regarding the affair of senior management and a few tales of a scumbag woman. I was a little curious, so I clicked on it directly to take a look. When I saw the first chat screenshot, I realized the people involved were actually Zhao Xiaojin and Xia Qiang. I didn't know what had happened, but all of their sensitive chats were completely exposed. However, my name was replaced with a pseudonym. Even the messages where Zhao Xiaojin told me that she was out socializing when she was actually with Xia Qiang had their profile pictures blurred out. Even though no one knew it was me, the people at the branch knew Zhao Xiaojin and I used to be married. The way they looked at me made me a bit uncomfortable. Zhang Tao suddenly scolded angrily. What are you looking at our manager for? Everyone has a responsibility to condemn a scumbag woman. Only then did those people's eyes leave me. I looked at Zhang Tao gratefully, but my heart remained completely undisturbed. A PPT file like this couldn't possibly just spread within a small circle. I searched a bit online, and sure enough, it was everywhere. The company quickly took countermeasures, posting an announcement on the official website declaring Zhao Xiaojin's dismissal. The company does not tolerate employees who are unfaithful to their partners and have terrible moral character. This announcement surprised me a bit. After all, technical positions like Zhao Xiaojin's were very scarce. I couldn't hold back and texted Bai Ningbing, asking what exactly was going on. She quickly replied to answer my question. Didn't Zhao Xiaojin come here for an inspection before? The final result she provided was adopted by the higher-ups and led to heavy losses. The board of directors already had issues with her over this. Furthermore, this PPT file was made by Xia Qiang himself. He said if Zhao Xiaojin made things uncomfortable for him, he'd make sure they both went down together. Combining both incidents, the company ultimately decided to fire this ticking time bomb, Zhao Xiaojin. I pursed my lips. 3 months. What on earth did Zhao Xiaojin do to make Xia Qiang hate her so much? But these thoughts only flashed through my mind for a moment, and I quickly stopped dwelling on it. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. The branch company had finally completely stabilized. I was also granted some time off to return home. I couldn't wait to pack my bags and head home. My parents were already waiting at the airport. My whole family happily went back home. Except at the final rest stop, while taking a break, I unexpectedly bumped into Zhao Xiaojin again. Xia Qiang stood beside her, looking at her coldly. Stop putting on that miserable face. You've spoiled the child too. Zhao Xiaojin held the baby and spoke coldly. Xia Qiang, know when to stop. I don't want to argue with you anymore. Xia Qiang laughed. You want to give your son a happy childhood? Do you think you even deserve it? You agreed to marry me. Wasn't it just because of this baby? Because your mother pushed you too hard? Zhao Xiaojin, I think you're truly a useless piece of trash. I didn't know what had happened to cause Xia Qiang's personality to change so drastically, nor did I know why Zhao Xiaojin would endure this to such an extent. I only knew that none of this had anything to do with me. Seeing my parents returning after getting some hot water, looking worried because of this scene, and looking at me, I smiled nonchalantly. Mom, Dad, what are you standing there for? Let's hurry up and go home. Zhao Xiaojin and I were long destined to be parallel lines that would never intersect. From now on, I am just me. I will only live for myself.